Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. We're back again, and I'm joined by the lovely Amber. She's always by the sea, but today she's by me. Welcome. Welcome back. It's always it's always a pleasure, and I'm glad to have you here. Last time you were here, we deep dived into your, personal life a little bit. Mm-hmm. But today, the subject of conversation is dating in Miami.
Ooh.
It's quite the thrill ride. And how long have you lived out in Miami?
I've been in Miami for a while, since I was like 13 years old.
13? God, yeah. Running up these streets. Miami.
Yeah, but I was in my relationships for a long time, so.
So you would describe yourself as a good girl?
I would think so.
Yeah? I don't know about that one. I mean, but hey, we could all.
Okay, look.
We could all dream. We could all.
I'm a good girl when I'm in a relationship. I'm very loyal in a relationship. That I am, for sure.
Yeah.
So now, this dating scene, I've been single now for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And it is just like out there. Oh my God, it's crazy.
So you've been single for 6 months, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, this is the longest you've been single in a while?
This is the longest I think I've ever been single.
Wow. I mean, it's try 6 years.
Yeah, that's great. That's
well, it's a different experience for a man than it is for a woman. I think the dating marketplace, women have a little bit more of the advantage because they're the ones that they pretty much give up the sex. They're the ones that offer the sex, right? We're the hunters.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like it's harder to acquire a woman. It's easier to acquire a man, but it's harder to retain a man for a woman, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So to retain a man is a lot harder for a woman, but you can get a man quicker.
Yeah.
It's harder for a man to get a woman, but it's easier for a man to retain a woman because women are more likely, from what I see, to stay in a relationship, than a man would. Like, his eye would wander, he would get curious, he would want to date outside and do other things. So that's the dynamic that I've noticed. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's like that, but majority of, I would say, society functions that way when it comes to the male-female dynamic.
Yeah.
Especially out here in 305, it's a little bit of a different world. But it's something that a lot of people, not just in Miami, but also people in California, people in New York, the dating scene in general, it's quite complex these days.
It's funny because I hadn't gone on a date in a while, and then I went on a date with someone. Well, first I should have known how it started. He's like, "Oh, I'll pick you up," whatever. So I finished getting ready, and I tell him I'm done so he can come get me, and he's like, "Oh, I actually met up with a friend in Brickell. We had to have a couple of drinks." He's like, "I could still pick you up if you want, or I can call you an Uber." And I was like, "Oh no, it's fine. I'll call myself an Uber." So I call myself an Uber, and I get there, and they're already been drinking at the bar. They're not even at a table. They're just there at the bar, which whatever. And then
first thing that fucked up from that whole experience right there, he didn't put you as a priority.
Nope.
He's telling you, "Oh, well, he could have picked you up."
Yeah.
And for him to just send an Uber, I mean, you probably don't.
I ended up calling my own Uber, so I should have let him just send me one. But at the end of the day, I didn't want him to have my address. So.
But now, since you decided to get your own Uber to him, aren't you kind of putting that person on a pedestal?
Maybe I probably shouldn't have done that. But there's a lot of things I should have just canceled the whole thing after.
Yeah, I would have just said, "Well, you're not coming to pick me up, then fuck you."
Yeah.
But you, out of your pocket, met up with a stranger.
Yeah.
that I think that was your fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you should have said, well, if he's not willing to go the extra step to just pick me up on our first date,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't know.
But wait, it gets worse.
That's-
It gets worse. Wait. So then I get there, right? And they're already drinking, wanting to order shots. And I was like, oh, I already see the intentions here, right? And
Okay.
and so then the other guy had brought another girl, and
Right.
I'm just there having a conversation with this guy. And his friend all of a sudden calls him, and like, I'm mid conversation, and he just turns around like if I wasn't even talking to him. Talks to the guy for whatever thing, and he turns back to me and he's like, what were you saying? It was at that moment that I was like,
Wow.
yeah, no. At
That's
that moment, I was like, oh no, this is not happening. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. So I end up leaving that date. And as I'm walking out of that date, that's when the whole It's Polo Kid, who I didn't know who that was.
Excuse me, who's that? What?
His name is It's Polo Kid. He comes up to me and he's wearing glasses that have a hidden camera. So I just had that other experience. So then I walk out, and then he comes up to me saying, I want to marry you. You're so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow, let me get your phone number. And that's a thing that he does to girls. And I literally just had this other horrible experience. Now I'm coming out, and then this kid's doing this. And I was just like, it was just one of those days. And then later on, I find out people are sending me all these videos of a video he posted, which I had no idea about.
Hey, listen, she went viral. Hey, you know?
I mean,
It's a good thing.
Has almost 4 million views on it.
So, did you ever get in contact with this person after that, or?
No, he ended up blocking, so I can't even see the.
Well, not the
No.
social media guy.
I never spoke to him again.
Oh wow, interesting. Well, shit, you know. And didn't you like walk home after that?
I did.
Yourself?
I walked
like a
home.
maniac.
I walked home. You know what? I needed time to just like be in my thoughts.
Oh God! Listen, I don't recommend you walk home in the middle of 2 a.m. in downtown Miami by yourself. They're gonna mistake you for a streetwalker.
I did. I really did go down streets, and I was like, "Oh shoot, maybe this wasn't a good idea."
Yeah, definitely was not a good idea for sure. So that was one. Is there any other?
Yeah, I had this other date, and oh my gosh, this one it started off fine, but then like one thing for me that I feel like I really like for a man to do is open the car door for me, right? So he didn't do like we're there, we're walking to the car, and
How old is this person?
I think he was like 33. I don't know.
Wow, interesting.
I don't remember how old he was. I think 33. I don't know.
Okay.
And so he didn't do it after I said it, right? And then we went somewhere else. And as we were going somewhere else, I guess he had to pee, and he literally just right there in the open with me standing right there just decides to pee, which I was just like, okay.
Wow.
I mean,
what was he, raised in a barn?
I guess so. And then
Wow.
we get back to the car after I just told him I liked the car door opened for me, and he still didn't do it. So that was just like, whatever. I knew it in my heart. I was like, I don't think this is, I'm going to have another date with this guy. And then later on, I don't know, he was trying to, go out with me again, and I kind of was just like dodging it. But then he asked me if I was in Arizona one of the times, and I just said no. And he was like, oh, if you're gonna be a bitch, then like going all crazy. And I was just like, whoa. I blocked him, and then he ends up writing to me on WhatsApp. And it was like, oh, it's not, I don't know. I could just tell it was just red flags everywhere. And I was just like, no, this is not for me.
You're like a magnet for red flags.
Oh my God, I think I am.
I don't know, man. That's a lot, you know? Well, I never really had too many bad dates, but I did have one extreme, I wouldn't even say date. It was just a situation that happened. And I've had some, I would say, some crazy girls that couldn't let go, you know, and they just find a way to make you a villain. You know that this happens sometimes. You could be as transparent with a female as you can, and sometimes they just need to blame someone for something,
No.
and you're just the perfect candidate sometimes. You know, and it happened to me a few times where I was blamed for things that weren't necessary, and like I said, I was clear as crystal. You know, hey, look, I'm just looking to have a good time. I'm not here to be serious in any type of way. You know the conversation, just to kind of like make sure that the vibe is checked, because the worst thing you could do is mislead somebody.
Yeah.
So you just state your case. Say, hey, put your cards on the table, show your hand, and say, hey, this is what I'm down for. Are you down for this? And if they say yes, yes. Now, that's that person's responsibility. Now, if they want to continue, you already gave them the option. You gave them the choice. So giving them the choice, and they take the bait and they still go with the plan, that's their problem. And when you don't want to deal with them anymore, or in a way that where they want to take it, all of a sudden you're the bad guy. All of a sudden you're a jerk. You're this. You're a user. I've heard it all, you know, and I've only had that happen to me maybe about 2 times.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you're under the impression the other person knows exactly your intentions. But I think what happens is there's feelings that are developed, and we're human beings. Things are gonna develop. But I think it's also a thing of sometimes women want what they can't have. And if the fact that I wasn't able to be tamed by any means, they looked at it as a challenge. Oh, well, I'm gonna be the one to put him down and keep him where I want to see him, you know, like, and that never happened. And I don't think there'll be a female on earth that can make that happen to me, because if I'm gonna deal with a woman, it's gonna be on just me knowing that I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
No one could force you or kind of trick you into a situation like that. You know, I've taken risks with people before, but like that, I did that on my own. I didn't know no woman was, you know, tricked me into a situation to be in. But I think dating in general, what is dating to you? What does that mean? Because I've heard someone tell me that as long as you're sleeping with someone and you're hanging out with them, you're technically dating them. I beg to differ. I think I thought in my head that, oh, well, if it's dating is leading to forming a relationship with this person, getting to know them, then wanting to pursue a relationship, I thought that was dating.
That's what I was thinking.
And I never knew that, oh, you taking a girl out, having fun with her is dating. Some women told me that.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you dated a lot of girls because you went out with them, you took them out, you guys, you know, did things together.
Yeah.
And, which kind of makes sense, but my intention was not for the purpose of long-term, meaningful relationship to be with that person exclusively. My intentions was just to have a good time.
Well,
you know?
I think that I feel like now the generation is just like everyone's just dating and just having fun, and it's not like I feel like.
Well, I mean, I'm part of the problem too. I'm not saying that
I feel the same way too, because
yeah.
I just got out of. I mean, not just got out, but I was in a long-term relationship, but I feel like, we're all just dating and going around. I mean, I'm not going around, but.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm a professional cheek clapper.
Oh gosh. But instead, you have to be like when you're getting involved, especially sexually with someone.
Yeah.
Like, what are your intentions there? Like, are your intentions to like marry this person and be with them? Or it's just fun? And I think those are things that you have to talk about, obviously, in the beginning.
Yeah.
with
I mean,
someone.
if you tell somebody what it is, I think your karma is good, because now you're letting them know, hey, I'm not ready for plan A, but I'm ready for plan B.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But it's like, if they say, well, yeah, I'll take option B, Cool. Now your hands are clean of that.
Yeah.
They decided where they want to go with you, and if their feelings change, which everyone has the right to change their feelings, and we're not robots. We're human beings. Now you have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's unhealthy to be with somebody, then your feelings are getting deeper with them. I think you should express that with them, and either you say, "Hey, look, I know we're hooking up, but my feelings are getting a little stronger here. I don't want to continue to do this if you're not looking for something more."
Yeah.
And then you have that conversation with them.
I know what my conversation that I have with like anyone that I meet is like, oh, what are your thoughts on marriage? Because like that's something that I've always wanted. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's something for me that I've always wanted. But at the same time, too, it's like I feel like I'm still working on myself to be a better person and a better future wife for my future husband.
I think that's something like if a woman's looking for marriage, which is a good thing, like you just said, the quality of that person, I need to know past the sex, past the looks, what more are you bringing to my being? What more are you bringing to me long term?
Yeah.
Because like I said, man, like I'm in Miami. These girls, dime a dozen, looks dime a dozen, you know, sexual experiences. You can get that in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But are you going to be in it for the long haul? Are you going to be in it for the dark times?
Yeah.
Are you going to be in it for the right reasons?
But like I said, for me, that's one of the things that I say in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is what are your thoughts on marriage? And if they tell me I don't believe in marriage, and I know that's not my person, and I keep moving on, like that's for something that's very important. I think that's important for me. At least.
No, and I think we all need those boundaries, and we all need those. Going by your moral compass of what works for you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying marriage is for everyone, but I think a proper union is a good thing because you need to have goals and ambitions in life. You need to have an end game.
Yeah.
We can't just be hamsters stuck in a wheel going around in a circle. There needs to be a build for why are we together? Why are we doing this? Why are we in this? Why are we seeing each other?
Yeah.
I
just want to be able to have someone that I only that one person that I'm sexually giving my energy to, and I think that's what I want. And like I said before, in my relationship when I was with my daughter's father of 13 years, I was loyal to him for 13 years. Yeah. You know, and for me, loyalty is everything. I mean, I'm a Taurus, so loyalty for us is, I mean, I can't vouch for other Tauruses, but for me, like, it's like not in my like DNA. Like I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like I could never do it if I'm in a committed relationship, you know?
That's very noble of you. Applaud this woman for her honesty and commitment. The same thing goes here. Maybe 10 plus years ago, I was a young man getting into a relationship, didn't know who I was as a man, didn't know what I liked, you know, but I got with someone that was special. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it was a reason why I was with her for all those years. Maybe to prevent me from doing bad things because she was a good woman. I never thought about her cheating on me, not once. That never even crossed my mind. The girl was so committed, you know, and so loyal. And it was hard leaving that relationship at the time. I wish, if I had things my way, I wish I would have met her now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm the man I am today because of that relationship, but also I needed to explore and I needed to see what was I missing and what do I need?
Yeah.
See, the things that we want is not necessarily the things that we need, and you'll find that out in time, but you have to go through that. You got to run that circuit a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You need to know.
It's funny because how I feel about my relationship would be the opposite. Like it wouldn't like
right. Well, with two different people, two different experiences.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
with mine, it was the partying and going out that what brought us together.
Right.
But once I realized that I didn't want to do that anymore, like it's like, what do we have in common now? You know, that's how.
Well,
it
like
kind
I
of
said, you know,
got to.
once the novelty wears off, and once you start progressing in a different way, and that person's not on the same frequency, or just supporting that journey that you're trying to make, and saying, you know what,
Instead of looking at me like I'm crazy.
right, and to say, you know what, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. You're my woman. I respect the fact that you don't want to drink or you don't want to smoke or whatever it is. I'm gonna try to do my best, even though I'm enjoying these vices. I'm gonna do my best to try to alienate you from those things. I don't want to bring you into that environment, right?
Yeah.
And now let's do things together and spend time together where those things are not around.
Yeah.
I'll go, just it's like a compromise. If he still likes drinking and smoking or whatever, listen, I'm gonna go out with the boys.
Yeah.
I'll have this one night. I just want to go out and chill and vibe, but I'll be back.
You know what's so crazy about that? I'm thinking about it now in that relationship was that like one of the things that I really always wanted was going on a vacation, just the two of us. Instead, it became anytime we went on a vacation, it was a group of friends. Instead of
Because
having
that was a mask.
Instead of having alone time with each other.
That was a mask. That was a filter. So what that was, it's like, I can't have fun with you. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I need other distractions.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
Yeah.
If I've been on multiple vacations, it was just me and my woman, and then we would meet people at the resorts, and make friends with them or whatever. But we would always go with the intention of getting away together, doing things together.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
Is to bring us closer. I don't want to be going with a bunch of people, and it's not doing what it needs to do, because those relationships are there to help repair certain things.
Yeah.
It brings you closer. If I'm working my job and I'm dealing with all kinds of headaches, this is our opportunity to get together. No kids, nobody. It's just us focusing on what we got to build.
Yeah.
Now, if I got Sammy and Johnny over here and then two other couples, now it's like, okay, it's no longer about us. Now we got to worry about everybody else, and then it's a distraction.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting those moments together, and you're not working anything out. It's just like, I'm going to get fucked up with Johnny and Sammy or whoever.
Yeah.
And then you're just having to deal with the aftermath of whatever that is. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand that is a thing. But I think now for me personally, where my journey is as a grown man,
And you haven't had any crazy dates experiences?
I
like
mean,
I have.
but I have, but not in the sense where it's a little bit different for me, because my goal wasn't to date them with progression into relationship. It was just me just being free, being a free spirit, hanging out, going on dates, but it wasn't with the intention the way you're setting your dates up for. So it was a different experience. Now, I don't know how the women felt, but I made things very clear. So it's obsolete because I already explained my situation with them. Well, however they feel, that's on them. If they decide to continue with it, then they have to take that responsibility and they have to take that loss, because it's like, hey, I told you so.
Yeah. It's so crazy because going on these other dates, it's now I'm just happy. Like, I feel like being awakened and raising my vibrations. I'm able to now see certain things that I may have not seen in the past, like when I was younger, like little things that they do or how they respond. Cause like, I'm just like, if I'm drinking too and I don't realize it, but now I see it like instantly. Like I'm like right away. Oh, no,
yeah, but that goes with maturity.
Yeah.
You can't. Maturity it's a building block for the experiences you've had.
Yeah.
You can't get maturity without those experiences.
Yeah.
So whatever you did in your past presents itself in the future and the present, right? So it's good that you went through all that. So now you know what to look for in a proper partner.
Yeah.
Before you might have been blinded by things
Yeah.
rather than this more of the substance and the hidden layers to a person. You might be, oh, he's a fun guy. Oh, I enjoy him. Those are temporary thrills and temporary dopamine hits.
Yep.
But once that wears off and once the drinking and the drugging stops, then who is that person you're hanging out with?
Yeah.
Was that the real him, or was that whatever demon that was on him that you enjoyed because you got a demon on you from the drinking and drugging?
Yeah.
And then those two people coming together, those two entities coming together are liking that experience. It's more than just dating. It's a spiritual connection as well. So if you're not in tune with that, I know a lot of people joke on it or are not really in tune with their spirituality, but that is a real thing.
Yep.
So you might not be attracted to that person. It's the spirit, the unclean spirit within you that likes the vices and likes these other things. That is probably calling you to that other person.
Yep. It's true.
So,
Well, that's why you have to do the work on raising your vibrations and your frequencies, so that way you're not attracting that same lower, frequency.
Listen, I'm a man of God. I preach the gospel. I also live by the gospel sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I know when evil lurks. Mm-hmm. I'm a good judge of character. I kind of know. And I try to carry myself a certain type of way, and I don't say that I'm pure by any means, no way. But I try to present the most authentic version of myself to anybody that I meet.
Yeah.
So they know exactly who they're dealing with, and if things change or you go in a different direction with your life or whatever it is, we've already established a good grounds of communication where, I support or I'll follow through with you and stick by you and not just abandon you because things are different. And I think that's the problem with dating. I think people don't like to adapt. I think people want it their way.
Let me ask you a question. What do you feel about when you go on a date with a girl? Do you think that the girl should pay for the dinner or do you pay for it? If I initiated that date to take you out, then it's my responsibility to pay that meal. Okay.
I don't expect you to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Also, you could test a woman to see whether she fucks with you or not. So if you take her out and she's ready to pull out her card and help you with that bill, that's a good woman. Uh-huh. That woman, now you see, okay, she's willing to help me pay for this meal. Even though I asked her out, she's willing to reach out and make an investment. I look at that as that person's trying to make an investment into this thing that we're doing. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm not expecting her to do it, it's like when you don't see it coming and when it's coming from the heart, that means more. So I look at little things like that. When it comes to paying and the girl is reaching for her purse and she's wants to contribute, I'm like, oh wait, no, I got this. It's my date, let's let me take care of that. Uh-huh. But just the thought of her trying to do that, initiate that gives that's points. That's saying, oh, she's not a user. Because that's one of our men. We don't like a woman that wants to just use us like that. Just like a woman don't want a man to use them for sexual access. Mm-hmm. A lot of men, even though they want to provide or they don't mind doing that. There's a difference between wanting to do something for someone and then someone taking advantage of them. Yeah. So we just don't want to feel that we're a free meal for the day. Uh-huh. A man doesn't want to feel that way. Now, if the man puts himself in that position to be that's on him. But a man of quality and substance, you'll know. You'll know whether this woman is full of shit or not, or whether that guy's full of shit or not. You'll know. Yeah. Because just because they pay for the meal doesn't mean they're good people. Yeah. They could just be pieces of shit that don't care about, they got a lot of money. They'll pay for anything. It doesn't matter. But when I see a woman do a little bit more, even if it's something small, I like that. I find that attractive, and I tend to say, "Oh, let's see each other again," because she's making that investment. It's not like, "Oh, I'm out on a date. He's gonna pay. I'm just gonna." What if that chick doesn't even like you and she's just using you for a free meal? I know a lot of chicks that do that. Yeah. and it's sad, but it does happen a lot. So, you know, yes, if you reach out to someone and you initiate the date, then I think that person has the right to make that contribution.
Yeah.
If a woman says, "Hey, let's go out on a date," if you're initiating time to see me and you want me to go out with you,
I could never see myself asking for it to go out.
I'm just saying, there's chicks that do that.
I know.
And I'm just like,
I
listen,
can see myself.
I
doing
didn't
that.
budget myself to take you out. Like there's a big red flag. Like, never go out with a chick to the club, guys. If she asks you to go to the club with her and she's got her friends with her, that's a big fat no. Because you
Or
remember,
if you go to dinner and with a group of her friends.
yo, that's setting yourself up for failure, guys. When a chick says, "Hey, let's go to the club together," do not do that, because now you're also not just responsible for her safety and financial well-being, but you're also going to be responsible for her friend's safety as well. So you got to be very careful with that. So I don't recommend going out to clubs or any kind of things with her friends are around.
Yeah.
Now, if her friends are coming with their boyfriends, then that's okay. That's
Yeah,
different.
It's more
but
like a double date type.
yeah,
thing,
but if they're all with their
if you
buddies,
can't go on a date without having like I told you, that first date that I went on when he had to go and meet up and with his friend, and he didn't have like the balls to go on a date by himself. He needed backup from a friend. That's the way I saw it. Like, you need to bring a friend on this date. Like, I don't know. I just, especially on a first date, you know what I mean? Like, why are you bringing a friend along here? It just didn't make sense for me. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, I don't really go on dates. I just kind of just talk to the chick, and I don't like to call it a date because it feels like there's too much pressure on it.
Yeah.
So I usually like to just like, hey, let's meet somewhere. Let's get acquainted. Let's break the ice first. Once I get a vibe and we get to know each other a little bit, then it's spontaneous. It's real. There's no pressure. We just meet each other.
Yeah.
It's a small indication of okay, we like each other. Oh, I had fun talking to you. I had fun the other day. Let's go somewhere. Let's go here. Now you eliminate that pressure, because now you just met that person, but the pressure wasn't on. The spotlight wasn't on you. It was just a casual encounter. I think casual encounters are good first. Then say, hey, you know what? I know this really good steak place. You like steak or you like seafood? Let's go to this one spot. I know you're going to really like it. And then you go there. Yeah. And then now you've already established conversation. You know what the person looks like in the flesh, right? So there's the nerves.
Like Instagram be.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a date like that? You see a catfish? Yeah. Have you ever had that?
Nah, chill, man. I check thoroughly for my prey. I investigate before I even meet up with them.
I remember before we did the shoot, we met up in I think it was in Wynwood.
Yeah, I do that on purpose.
Wasn't a catfish.
No, I do that on purpose, because remember, I'm painting someone. Like, I gotta really know what I'm dealing with. Like, you could be liquefied.
What did you think when you saw me?
I thought you were smaller than, like, I thought, she's small, she's little, like, I didn't know, because sometimes, you see on Instagram, you think the girls are huge and tall.
I'm 5'3", by the way.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, she's smaller, so, which is great. Less paint for me to use. You know what I'm saying? Save up on that paint. But it's good to just do like a little casual encounter, and then you set the tone for, okay, I like this person, cool vibes. Let's go somewhere. Let's make it an official thing. And then that's when you said it. I do things in layers. I'm very, I plot.
I would like to have some funny stories about people that have had some catfish.
Oh man, let me tell you, the catfish thing is real out there, guys.
I don't know how many people has this happened to.
Especially with social media and all these Snapchat filters, and
oh my god,
it's a whole nother world out there.
You know what you guys should do before you go on a date? Maybe even do a FaceTime before, right?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, like
actually,
do FaceTime.
I should definitely do more FaceTimes for sure.
Before you go, because unless they have a FaceTime that has a filter, I don't think they do.
I mean, no, they have like avatars, but not like filters for FaceTime.
Yeah.
Actually, no. If you do, don't do a FaceTime through Instagram or anything like that. Do it through the actual phone because it eliminates the filters.
For sure.
Yeah, think about that one. You know? Think about it because I know you could FaceTime on IG, but there's filters.
Yeah.
So if you want to be safe, you can see every wrinkle.
Do a FaceTime call, guys, before you go on any dates.
You can see every wrinkle in her face. You can see the age and the turmoil in her face. Without those filters.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah.
You know what? It just kind of reminds me of another catfish that I went on a date. Another day, I totally forgot about this one because this was a while ago. Yeah. And this guy on his it was on I forgot where it was from, but whatever. I was on a dating app, right? Which I'm not even on that anymore. I don't even care.
Dating apps.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you about dating apps.
A lot of catfishes on there.
Dating apps is the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I don't have that.
All right. I don't recommend dating apps for anybody. Those are the worst types of people to be with.
I think meeting someone organically is just way better than meeting someone at the end of the day you have no idea who
hold on.
Person
the
is.
Biggest dating app in the world is Instagram.
That's true.
I would say hands down the number one dating app is IG. I met probably 98% of the women that I've met is through Instagram.
I'm scared to meet people through Instagram, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of weirdos out there.
I mean, that's how I discovered you. That's how I discovered a lot of people. If it wasn't for Instagram, I don't like going out. Yeah. I don't go places. I live in the metaverse.
Well, look, listen, this person, their pictures was literally like, when I met them in person, I was like, what? It was from 10 years ago. I kid you not. It was like 10 years ago.
Have you ever been catfished with dick pics? I've heard stories of guys photoshopping their thing.
Oh my God, no way.
And then making it bigger than it appears. Like they'll just like.
Honestly, I don't really know because I feel like if a guy sends me a dick
what's the proper name for like catfishing with your dick? Like, I don't know. You got to call it something else.
Some guy that I was talking to before, he sent me a pic and I was just like, how what the hell? Like, it wasn't even like, I did not want to see that. Like, why are you?
He sent it randomly?
I don't, honestly, he sent it and I ended up blocking him afterwards because I just thought it was just like, why are you sending me
It was like, why are you sending me dick pics?
So for when you guys send me any of those through IG, I just delete it right away because I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't think dicks are as aesthetically pleasing as, a nice pair of titties or a nice ass. I don't ever send dick pics. I've never done that. I've had people ask me for them, but I'm just like, no. You'll see it in person when it's in your mouth, baby.
Oh my God.
You'll see it in person, all right. But I don't do the dick pic thing because I don't want to get blackmailed. You never know. So man, I'm an in-person kind of guy. But yeah, that's that's our time, folks.
Yeah.
Remember, be wary of catfishing. Mm-hmm. Dating is hard, but date with the right intentions.
Yep.
And you'll find your person. I am your host, Fernello, and my co-host, Amber by the Sea. She's going back to the ocean where she belongs. I'll see you guys on the next episode.